Hey, it's Mark, and I'm gonna run through some of the stocks that I was talking about the past couple days and some of the new ones I found. I put a watch list out on Twitter. I've been really active on Twitter. If you don't follow me on Twitter/X Corp, I've got a really active account on there, and it's just like the website Stock Pursuit with a underscore between the stock and pursuit. But the link's in my link tree if you go to my website, or the YouTube has links too. So if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube, you can subscribe. But I usually put out the videos faster on Loom, on the Loom platform, because it processes it really fast. Like, I'll make it and then it'll be ready to send out or ready to view in like 5 minutes, where the YouTube takes, like 45 to an hour for a, 30 to 40 minute video. So if you're not active on Twitter, then I mean, just you can subscribe to the YouTube, and I put them all there too. But it just takes longer, is what I'm saying, basically. So so I made some mistakes this week. Like, I over traded a good bit, because I guess I had a bunch of big winners like last week and the week before, like lots of 100, 300% gainers, and so I got a little sloppy with some entries and stuff, and like the probably the worst one was really the camping holdings, the this one. But like, I'm not upset about anything, because I have like crazy small position sizing, so it doesn't really, you know, break the system. But I played that one off a support bounce, which I have a bunch of setups that I've tracked over time, and the the best setups for longs, they're never support bounces, or you know bounce plays per se. They're usually more uptrending, or bull flags, triangles, stuff that's basically uptrending or holding. So, but basically, like, this stock was downtrending, so the risk. So I just think it's more risky to bottom fish, or whatever you want to call it, like to buy into a downtrend hoping for support. Like, it's best to really wait for the support. So I could have waited to see what it actually did, like, because when it reversed off of that first spike day, because it spiked here, I thought that was going to be the start, but that was like a fake out. So it's really best for these if you're gonna bottom fish, to wait for some serious momentum to come back, and like a really good shift in momentum, where that this line gets clearly break into the upside. So it would have hit like 21 or 22. I mean, yeah, 21 to 22 a share would have been like a clear momentum swing, where the downtrend momentum was broken. But I just got cocky on that one, and I just thought it was gonna hold, um, because it's not a bad company, and like, I was just thinking it would hold as a bounce, but it wasn't really a compelling. Like, usually if I'm gonna buy support, it's on something with like a deep value stock that has like a lot of asset value, where it's trading like at a discount to its assets, or really cheap valuation. However, if you want to do multiples, or PE multiples, or cash flow, or the asset value. So this wasn't that. So it was kind of a cocky bad trade. So but that happens sometimes. Like, like I sometimes I overtrade and just make too many trades sometimes. But uh I need to really stick. It's best to stick to what I have the good results for. So that one, it kind of like it's a good example like how these a lot of times expecting a bounce doesn't always work. But like the long I did do well on was the LUXH. Like I traded this one. Uh, I bought it in like the fives on that spike day. Well, actually, I think I bought it near high day on this day, like 3 days ago. But I found it here, and it's been a really good one. I mean, because it has momentum and like what's been working for longs to me in this market and the kind of low price stocks I trade is these sort of bases where they go sideways and then they get some good technicals above the resistance and then they just start going. So I mean it based out there too, and that was like a base, but the momentum I like to trade momentum. So I short things that are going down and long things that are going up, and that's what works for me and like for the setups I have uh, tracked. I track the setups. So the K web is another stupid one. Because K web I don't have a lot of track record with trading like index ETFs like swing trading is tricky a lot of times with like country index ETFs or like even Qs or SPY or whatever. It's pretty hard to trade sometimes. So so I shorted this one, or I bought puts when it came back down into the downtrend, but it's totally held this level now. So like I really like the trade now is like really long, but it needs to break out. Like if it breaks over 27.74, to me it's a long, just based on how it trades in these channels. But it's not guaranteed to keep trading, based on channels too. So it was kind of like a speculative, it's just like a speculative kind of play, just to see, because I really thought there was going to be some more downside momentum. But that's the thing about like FXI and these China indexes. They like to hold their ranges. Like the range on FXI, it held from February or from March until this channel here held like the highs and lows in the channel from there till basically there. So I would say this is just like an overshoot. Sometimes they do that. Like that was an overshoot there, where it just overshot it for like a day or two. Um, but but it just likes to go sideways. So of course it'd be nice to get the perfect entry on the where it breaks out of the channel, but it's pretty hard to trade now. Because I mean it should be going up now because it held resistance or it held support here too, but it just seems like the fact that the U.S. markets are correcting and a lot of other emerging markets are correcting, that the trend's kind of short term down, and the fact that it's not going down, to me it seems like it should go down, but which is kind of surprising actually, because we're talking about China here. Like even Vietnam got like annihilated basically, and well not annihilated but down a lot, and but down forcefully, and they're one of the best growth markets in the world. Their their GDP is growing incredibly fast relative. So and even Turkey, there's a lot of surprise stuff out there. Like Turkey's kind of holding in still too. I thought that was going to start to crash, but it's actually looking. I mean, it looks like it really wants to get to break out again because it's still holding this like uptrend right there, and it's basically a triangle. So I'm just gonna back off these and I'm not gonna trade these anymore because they're uh, they're not doing what the signals were. So, but I mean that's really like a breakout. That's a long, that's a buy on a breakout. But the fact that the U.S. markets are down, um, I just think that could be leading a lot of things. But a lot of times in the past, emerging markets have kind of gone down before U.S. markets, like years ago, like back in 2007 and stuff. But I'm just gonna back off those for now. And I was looking at some of the stuff that was still weak today for shorts, like there's a lot of stuff that's still acting really weak. But let's finish on the longs too, because I looked at those other longs. So the GSAT, I found GSAT in a scan. GSAT has a history of being a really, really good runner. Like it can run day after day for multiple days, like 10%. Like that's how they used to run it back in the day. Like, and you can see even in 2021, it did that basically, but even stronger. But I used to trade it back in like even back to like 2010. Like every time it runs, it just goes. Like you can see it did it basically in here in 2016. It had a good run. 2000, well, it had two good runs where it just once it gets momentum, it just keeps going. Like it went from $1 to like $3 in a few months. But it can even go faster than that. Like there it went in December, it went from like $1 to 220 in like half a month. But yeah, you can see there it was up a lot there too. 2013 it went from like 20 or 30 cents to $4 in 2014, like in less than 2 years. And but it's usually like a really cyclical stock. Like it's been cyclical in the past. Because I remember back in the day in like I don't know, like 2010 or 2009, it had a good run then, and but you can see it ran like a lot of it runs with the market a lot. So, but that was kind of interesting that I found it here today. It's kind of like another thing. It's like I'm not so sure about the direction of everything from here. Like it was clear like a couple weeks ago, but like it did a base here. Like it's got this nice base. Like I've been doing these videos for a long time now, and it got this really nice base and broke out, and then it retested like kind of messy there, but it's holding above this new support level here, and I think this volume is the volume here. I think is off. It should be green, like some other data I've looked at had green overall green volume, which seems more likely that since it had such big gap up that day, but it did finish like a doji though. But anyway, regardless, it's still holding up pretty well, and it's basically like a massive bull flag right there. It's a bull flag. So that's the bull flag, and it broke it out. It broke out like it failed. It tried to break down there, and then the technicals are really good. Like it looks like it's really gonna take out the highs. So I bought some calls on different strikes. I bought the 150 strikes for a week out, and for the monthly 10/20, October 20th. So I mean, it's like a good chart, and it's kind of what's been working. And it actually, that was a level there. It held pretty much. Yeah, it's interesting. I'm starting to become a really big fan of going back like years or months and years to find levels because the levels are just as important as like trend lines and channels. But the more lines you can find, the better. The more levels, and they tend to there tends to be a method behind it. Like with they hold a lot of times. Like this level held like 3 years in a row, pretty much. It's about 90 cents a dollar. So that held the level there, and then so while it still hasn't really had momentum, it does like to spike a lot. So it spikes and then sells off. So I'm just looking for a spike, like a little spike over 150, which I think is pretty doable given the technicals here. So that's why I put it as a long setup. So like you did a little base there too, like it did a nice like rounding bottom base right there, right there. You can see those lines, but that's interesting how it's holding up pretty much the past week, and and it's usually like a risk on. It's a risk on stock. So go figure. I don't get it, but that's what it is. So the UNG had a really good move. The natural gas was up. It was up when oil was down too. So it actually came back up to channel resistance. This this is like a long channel it's been in, and that was off of like the inventory numbers. Like it didn't seem like that big of a change to me. It was like 86 versus like 92, but like I'm not an expert on the on tracking natural gas, but it reacted off the inventory numbers. So we'll see what it does. I would be surprised if it tries to break out, just on how strong it's been. And the VIX is down, so my hedge is actually still working. Like I bought these puts on this product here, like on that first red day. So the thing about the VIX is it just never likes to spike for long nowadays. If it does, it's like something. I mean, it's going to be a disaster. Like even when those banks, a lot of banks are failing. Like when some of the final banks to fail, or some of the final banks that were getting taken over by the government. Like after First Republic, and they the market didn't really react. So it's kind of priced in. I think a lot of regionals failing, which is strange, but I don't understand it. But I think that's the way it is. So, but the FFWM was actually red today. So I was looking at the stocks that were red, and I think those are pretty kind of like a tell. So, the Domino's is red, and some of these real estate and banks like the Wall, and Wall's got a really nice channel going. It's a downtrend channel. So I was really looking for just 1 or 2 more days off of this move, which was kind of silly, I guess, because it's in a channel. But I thought the sell-off was going to accelerate a little bit and just go another day. Sometimes it happens, like they break out of the channel. But my Pac West puts I lost on those too because I could have sold like on one of these days before or like this morning, but it once it reclaimed that support, it just gone sideways. So I really thought I was gonna get another day off of this, but this one's just like a terrible one to actually trade because it doesn't have any momentum. Like it just goes sideways. So yeah, that's the way it is sometimes. But the surprised to see the RGTI bounced a lot today. I was looking at that when I was like, when it was going down so much, I thought like, yeah, I really think this company has a good shot long term. So it'll be interesting to see what it does from here. If it can reclaim like the 160, that's gonna be interesting. But it's not really a setup for me. It's not really like a setup. Or at least a setup that I like. Some of the other weak ones, this other property one, like this is one of the most interesting setups to me short because it just took out a lot of support. And we got another watch list, some pretty good, a lot of weakness. Like I tweeted these out, these REITs, these real estate companies, like a lot of office companies, like this VNO is one of my favorites right now as a puts for puts because it pretty much it actually respected this uptrend because it tried to hold uptrend and then for like 5 days and it just rejected and then rejected again and it's in a it's in a channel right now. I think the oil is tough here to trade. It held a level there. Like that's like a weak level right there. So it's gonna bounce. It's most likely not gonna go straight down. Like it doesn't have a history of doing that. But it does have some big gap downs and well, actually there was a pretty good one. But you look at it in the longer term chart, it's usually like well yeah, there's in 2020 it was bad, but that was because that was COVID. But yeah, I think I stand corrected. It does have some good momentum on the downside when it does get going. Like that was a bull trap right there in 2018. You see the trap right there. So the bulls thought it was a breakout. So it looked like a breakout. I may even trade that. Who knows? Like I traded oil a lot, but the breakout failed, and then after it reclaimed, it just freaking crashed. So, but I was expecting like a bounce. I thought it would be more bounces, but so had that there. It seems like it likes to bull trap actually a lot. Like a bull trap there, it's a bull trap. And it's clearly a bull trap this month or in September. And that's just the bull trap was right there and it's like a spike top too. So maybe it does just keep some momentum going down. But it's got a lot of levels here. It's got a lot of support that it could find support at. So unfortunately it's not really like a great setup for me. The charging stocks have continued to go down over the weeks and months, but they actually bounced. I mean, pretty much anything that's like worth the darn bounced today, pretty much, in my opinion. So yeah, I'm kind of just looking for ones that were weak today because I think that's pretty telling. If it was weak with a strong market, yeah, Chegg, yeah, it broke below its downtrend level, so that's a good short based on how it likes to trade. It just likes to go down and in a nice trend. I've been watching the JWN too. Like it's kind of faked out there. Like it looked like it was about to break down, and then it held support again. It held support again today. But there was a scan I wanted to go through because I found some interesting things. Yeah, my gap down scan. The gap down scan only had 8 stocks in it, but the ones that caught my eye were the SNBR, and this stock was down today, and it's been weak. It's been really weak. It did a supernova basically in 2021. Like it went from like $20 to like 150, and then it's just been going down ever since. And it's been in a channel for a long time, and it just went to the bottom of the channel. But they had our earnings report in July, and it just tanked like 40%. It looks like off the earnings, and it's just been in a down channel since. And like this down channel is hard to get, but it's somewhere like that, I think, or because that gap down kind of affected it a lot. So, but it's definitely downtrending. It's in a down channel, and it tested right off of support. So if it takes out this support, to me that's a good short. And the EVA was interesting too. The EVA did a bear flag there, and it has a lot of nice. It's put up a lot of red days in a row, or consistently in the past. So we got that's a support level there. Wow, that's cool how it it spiked down right off of the support level. Yeah, look at that. The support was 669, and then the low the day before was 673, and then as soon as it hit the 669, it just crashed today. So this one's a good short too. I'm not sure if it has liquid options, but looks like it's got the volume for it. So this one and the SNBR are my new favorite short setups because they're weak with the green market to boot. Plus the setup, the breakdown setup, which has been doing well. So even the Redfin's got this nice down channel, and it was pretty weak today too. So I think it's gonna go sideways until it hits this channel, and then we'll see what it does. But you look at the volume, it's just a lot of sell volume, and like on these days, and the stock's been in trouble for a long time. Well, for in this year. And the XHB is actually still one of the weaker charts. Like this is the uptrend support. Uptrend support line is right there, and it's broken it. And it's basically still downtrending, and there's no really clear support level that it's holding. So it's one of the more bearish sectors. And this channel has been pretty consistent. But it looks like it's just kind of widening out because it's kind of going sideways here. But it's still near the lows. Like a lot of other things are like the Qs are like way better. Like it held the support, it's got a support level it just held, and it broke out of this tight little channel it was in. It goes in this channel here. It was like there to there. So there's a lot of channels, and it's holding up pretty well. And it broke above this downtrend level too. That was really key. This is the big downtrend level right there. So there's a lot of mixed stuff out there. I mean, the natural gas is kind of surprising. Like that may be something going on, because oil is down and natural gas is up, and the market's red on those days it was up. Like I still think there's a chance that natural gas has a good run this year.